fairyland. It's Tea with Tamara.
Care Bear Stare. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is my favorite live ever, and there's a reason why, and it doesn't just have to do with the message of today, which is, of course, extremely powerful, but it's where I was prior to jumping in and playing with you guys today. And that was a couple days ago. I got a phone call from the school, and the phone call was, hey, can you be at the school Wednesday at 9 a.m. because there is something that Sienna is getting at the school. And I was like, yeah, I can make that. And you have that moment, and it did cross my mind, you guys, where it was like, oh, but I have tea with Tamara at 10 o'clock. What if I miss it? You know what if I miss it? My daughter just got a citizenship award at her school, which is so exciting. It talks about how she uses her voice as for the little ones, and they talk about how in the citizenship award, when somebody is struggling, that you always offer support and love and help, and my heart filled with joy. And it brought the conversation up to something that we had in the car yesterday, because I'm really fired up about this topic of conversation right now. It really is inspiring me, motivating me, getting me so situated and grounded into my why and who I am and what's the most important thing that people get when they work with me, and that's their voice. Their voice comes back to them. And so one of my stepchildren came back, and I won't tell the exact story, and she said something, and I could feel her little voice having been taken away from her. And we were having this conversation in the car driving Sienna to soccer yesterday as to the most important thing is that children learn is their own voice. And he was like, but what do you do? And I said, well, Sienna, what does mommy always say to you? There comes a point when you stop listening to mommy and daddy and you start doing exactly what it is that you want to do and use your voice. Because when we impress our voices upon our children, right, they get to a place where that is the voice they hear, no matter what their energy thinks or feels or how they want to express themselves. The voice will continue to keep speaking in their energy systems and in their minds, right? And so I think about that when I hear, sense, and see and feel, and I'm going in and out of people's energy systems. And I guys, this is really I might cry, I might yell. I'm not sure what's going to happen today. But I think about for 37 years, I was afraid to use my voice. I was petrified to use my voice. When you grow up in a house with severe mental illness, I love my mom and I love my sister, and this is on me. I'm not saying it's on them by any means. This is not a blame game. But I was petrified to use my voice because things that I could say could upset them. And, as an empath and a lover and, a non-confrontational person, when you say something, even when you believe it is through love and it upsets the people in your life, you can't help. That feeling was valid for me, that I can't use my voice because I don't want to hurt anyone. Right? And then you have the voices of your parents. And the thing is our parents have our best interests at heart. They truly, truly, truly want to support and love us. But sometimes the things that they say become our pattern, become our belief, become who we then strive to be, right? Whether it's we're going to do great, or you have to get paid to get A's, or that's not something that's going to make you money when you grow up. Whatever it is that they're saying, we absorb that in. Take it right into our lovely solar plexus and create movement based on that voice. And that is the voice we hear. And then we have the fact that sometimes we get involved with people who are negative, who are offensive, who are abusive. And their voice says, you're not good enough. You don't deserve this. You're ugly, or you're disgusting, or nobody likes what you do or what you have. And we take that in. And that's the voice that we hear when we're moving and we're doing things. And so we get to this place of expansion and growth. And I have to ask you guys one thing. What is it that you hear in your head when you wake up in the morning? What words are you saying to yourself? Think about that. Because the fact of the matter is, would you turn around and say any of those things to your 5-year-old self? Imagine sitting in front of you right now is you at 5 years old. Would you say you don't know what you're doing? You don't have what it takes. Why would you ever want to do that? You're not going to make any money at that. You're not anything. Nobody's going to spend money on that. Nobody believes in you. Would you say those things to your 5-year-old self? No, probably not. And guess what? You wouldn't say it to your 10-year-old self, your 15-year-old self, 20, 25, it doesn't matter. You wouldn't say it to your yesterday self. And yet you find yourself today here in this moment saying these things when you're about to do something scrumptious and delicious with your life, to serve other people, to stand up and be seen. And this is the voice you say in your head. And I'm going to challenge you to say, whose voice is it really? Is it really your voice that would ever say those things to yourself? Because chances are it's a hard no. And so you get into that mindset in that moment where when you hear yourself speaking to yourself in such a negative way, you haven't done enough today. You can't relax. Think. Think for a moment. Where did this voice come from? Where did I pick it up? Was it from my mom, my dad? Was it something I witnessed? Was it something that nobody said to me, but that I heard or I saw? And you have in that moment, once you realize that that voice is not yours, it's like taking a box out of the closet and being able to unpack it. And you can say to yourself in that moment, wow, I would never say that to myself. If given a choice, I would say, I love you and you're beautiful and you're wonderful and everything you're doing is impacting the world and you're going to be able to serve incredibly all over and your voice will be heard wherever it needs to be heard and people are going to pick up what you are putting down. And so when you hear that voice that is not saying those things, you have a choice to open that box here in that moment and unpack it and say, I know where this came from and it's not mine. And so I'm going to allow myself to feel that feeling out, that feeling, whatever it is that brings it up, because guys, we don't push our feelings back. We don't move the box from the closet and put it into another closet. That doesn't solve the problem. We pull that box out, we see that, we don't attach to it, we step back, we open up the box, we look at those things and we say, yeah, that really hurt. Or this makes me angry. I'm frustrated. Don't attach, just feel. Give it validity. Because the minute you stop making your feelings valid, no one will make your feelings valid. It starts with you. And as you feel that feeling out and you disperse it and you let it go, you realize, I've kind of been telling myself that I can't do this for quite some time now. Or I don't deserve money, or money's not for me. Or maybe I'm not worth it, or nobody wants what I have, or I don't know what I'm doing. And you realize when you give this voice the true origin that it came from, you go like, oh, yeah, I see where I got it. I see where I picked it up and that's not mine. And you give it back to the universe to be like distributed and transmuted to wherever it needs to go, but it does not stay inside you. Because your voice is beautiful and the way we would talk to ourselves is with love and kindness. So when you find yourself not talking to yourself with love and kindness, I challenge you to ask yourself, who is really talking? And empowering you to have that voice, to speak your truth, to not be afraid to be heard, this is everything. This is what our life is about. Finding our voices and sharing our missions, sharing who we are and what we do fearlessly. So take a moment today, every single time, because your ego, this thought process that you're carrying, they're our roommate for life. They are never leaving. And every time you say something that isn't yours, you're listening to a roommate. You're not listening to yourself. And think about if you're carrying somebody from your past in there. Right? Do you really want that person as your roommate for the rest of your life? Chances are not really. That's a hard no, right? So guys, I love you. I love you. And you're strong and you're beautiful and you're independent in the most glorious of way. And you have a light that's meant to shine. And I'm going to tell you that I believe in everything you're doing with my whole heart and my whole soul. I see you. And I want your voice to be the voice of love. And I send that intention into you today. So on that note, as I feel really emotional connecting to everybody right now, I hope you have a really powerful day, a truly magical day, a day of self, a day of connection. Care Bear Stare of love to you.